Welcome to the Thrive Careers Podcast, the show that helps you move your career confusion to career success, hosted by the extraordinary Olajumoke Fatoki. Each episode is packed with expert insights, real-life stories, and practical strategies to help you land your dream job, level up, and build a career you love. No more guesswork, just clear, actionable steps to help you thrive. If you're ready, let's jump right into it.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Thrive Careers Podcast, where we talk all things career clarity, confidence, and growth. It's your girl, Olajumoke Fatoki, your compass in navigating the ever-evolving world of work. So whether you're doing the dishes, commuting, taking a walk, or just taking a breather, thanks for tuning in today. This moment is yours, and I'm super honored to be in your ears. Let's dive into today's conversation. It promises to be a good one. Today's episode is a reflective one that was inspired by something that happened to me this week. Interesting, right? So I would say if you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to begin in your career journey or where you are at in your career journey, this episode is for you. Stick around. Story time! So here's what happened this week. I decided to do something different. So instead of my usual heading straight home after dropping off my son at school, I took the bus with him, then got off and decided to walk back home. Now, for someone who works from home most days, that's already a win. Deciding to take a walk back home is me trying to exercise my muscles and, just take a walk instead of the usual sitting down or sedentary lifestyle that working from home brings with it. I'm grateful, right, for that privilege, but here, sometimes you just have to make some intentional efforts to shift things. So I decided to be intentional about the walk that I wanted to take back home. So I set a small goal for myself. I said to myself, I'll walk until I get to a particular building down the road. I put that landmark. Once I get to that building, then I'm going to hop on another bus and get back home from there. But here's what I realized. When I got to that building, I kept going. I set another milestone for myself, and I accomplished that as well. And then I pushed a bit more and a little bit more. And before I knew it, I had walked farther than I planned. And it felt good. And that was the light bulb moment for me. And here's what I realized, that when we set even small goal for ourselves and we hit it, it gives us the energy to stretch a little further. But when we set nothing, we hit nothing and we stay exactly where we are. And this applies to your career, your job search, your business, and almost anything you can think about. I've seen so many job seekers, especially newcomers or professionals in transition, fall into this pattern of inaction, waiting for the perfect conditions to move. Not because they are lazy, but because there's no clear starting point. Maybe at the beginning of the year, you told yourself, I want to land a job, but you weren't specific about what next steps you should take in landing that job. Maybe you said to yourself, I need to grow my network, but you don't know who to talk to. Maybe you've even said, I need to change my career, but you're feeling overwhelmed by the big picture. And so nothing changes. You remain at that same level that you were at the time you were making the decision. But the good news is we can talk about how you can flip that script and get your goals going. All right? Big goals, trust me, can be very exciting. I mean, we all want it. We want to make impact. We want stability. We want success. But here's the truth. You can't reach a big goal if you don't start with a small one. That's the truth. I didn't realize that I could push that further until I gave myself a specific target that once I hit this landmark or once I reach this landmark, I'm going to stop. That was it. My brain and everything began to align with that goal that I've set for myself. And once I was able to hit that, there was that momentum to push for the next one. And that's how it goes. If you don't start from somewhere, you're not going to make any move. You're going to remain at the same stage of inertia. So instead of setting some big, vague goals that you'll just be lost and not know where to start. For example, I want to land my dream job. I need to completely revamp my whole career, or I should really be doing more. Those are vague, and it explains why you've not been able to make so much progress with them. So if you wanted to break that down into achievable goals, what that should look like, for instance, if you plan to get a job, for example, you should start by applying 2 roles, per day for a week that actually matches your strengths and values. That's how you break it down. Recently, I got talking to a friend, and she told me that whenever she has to change jobs, she applies to nothing less than 40 roles per day. Now, that might be overboard. It depends on what kind of job you're looking for. But at least set a target for yourself to apply to a minimum of 2 roles that match your values, your skills, your expertise per day. If networking is what you are aiming to achieve, or if networking has been on your mind, just reach out to one person on LinkedIn whose work you genuinely admire. No pressure, just a hello, or just request for an informational chat. You'll be amazed at how you can transform that simple conversation or that simple hello into building a rich network for yourself. But if you don't try, you won't even know what the potentials are. Also, if you've been staring at your resume or your LinkedIn profile and you don't even know where to start, pick one section, maybe the top summary, and give it a little refresh. These days, there are tons of tools you can find online to help you refine these things, but just give it your own personal touch. That's what makes the difference. And if you've been craving more visibility, try posting something simple, maybe about your career journey or how you were able to help someone out at work. It's something. If you've just attained a particular certification, share that online. Comment on other people's posts, especially people that you really truly admire who are in the same industry as you. That will give you more visibility. All right. These little actions may seem very small or inconsequential, but they matter because they build momentum. And you see that momentum, that's the fuel you need. That's what creates the movement. That's what keeps you going. I need you to go for it this second half of the year and make your goals achievable. If you've been saying to yourself, I'm waiting for the right moment, I'm not ready yet, I just need a little more time, please hear this with love. You don't need more time. You need a starting point. You need a map. Waiting keeps you in a loop, but movement, no matter how small, creates clarity. And clarity brings confidence. I don't want you to get to December saying, I wish I had started back in July. So this is your permission to start now. Take that first step. Make that bold move. Here's your Thrive tip of the week. Set a goal, hit it, then raise it. Not for the purpose of perfection, not for pressure, but because when you give yourself a direction, you unlock your own potential. You don't know how far you can go until you start. The second half of the year is still yours to shape. So shape it one intentional action at a time. And if this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with a friend who needs that push. Send me a message on LinkedIn at Olajumoke Fatoki or Instagram at Thrive Careers Hub. I would love to know what small goal you're setting this week. And don't forget to grab your free Career Clarity Playbook. The link is in the show notes. Also, at the beginning of the year, we did a wonderful episode on goal setting. I would also drop the link in the description so you can also listen to that. Until next time, keep working, keep growing, and keep thriving. This is Olajumoke Fatoki, and you've been listening to the Thrive Careers podcast. See you next time. And that's it for today's episode of Thrive Careers podcast. I am Olajumoke Fatoki. reminding you that no matter where you are in your career, you have the power to rewrite your story. If you've enjoyed today's insights, do not forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who's ready to thrive. If you have questions or topics you'd like for me to cover, let's connect. I would love to hear from you. Remember, clarity creates confidence, and confidence leads to success. And until I come your way again next time, stay inspired and keep thriving.